I thought it was a really fun basketball game to watch, for sure. We'll start with top takeaways, as we always do. And with that, we'll start with the Captain Kelvin Eafon.
Yeah, man, we said before the game that Baylor was going to come out, man, and play like this was their tournament game. This was their chance to knock off to the team competing for the Big 12 championship, and that's exactly how they came out. I mean, the athleticism of Carr, first of all, I haven't seen anybody as athletic as him, J-Dub.
That block on D'Orso's three late in the game, wow.
Man, I mean, he gets off the ground so fast. I mean, and gets to the bucket, all kind of acrobatic finishes, but
he had
Baylor
42.
They just brought it. I thought that we could have played better defense, but, being down a guy, too, and not sure who's going to play and all those different things, they still figured out a way to beat Baylor by 7, almost got the spread. But with that being said, it's all about getting a win. And they went into Baylor, they went into Waco, and they got the dub. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Cameron Carr had 42 points in 18 games at Tennessee before he transferred to Baylor. 42 points in 18 games, man. He looked like the real deal, 11 for 19 from the field. My top takeaways, DK, was just, grit and just finding a way. I think we've talked all year long about you got to pick what aspect of this Arizona Wildcats offense that you're going to try to take away, because obviously they're going to try to establish Mo Krivas early. The mid-range game is always going to be there. And as we've seen in these last 3-4 games, when the guards do need to step up, anybody who thought, we saw Bradley be the closer in the first 10 games of the season, but Burry's clearly looking like a little bit more like himself out there. The energy levels were high. Just some really big, timely shots. And you got to tip your cap and give credit to Baylor. Like you said, Kelvin, every team is going to try to salvage their season. They don't maybe have a future that includes the NCAA tournament, but a win over the number 2 ranked team, a win over a team that likely at this point is going to win the conference would be huge, for them moving into next season, into whatever postseason tournament they do get into. So they're going to bring it tonight. They were knocking down shots, playing with a lot of energy and effort, and Arizona had to meet that, and they did. And in that second half, love to see a game that comes down to 1 or 2 possessions in the last couple of minutes, because that's not something that Arizona had to deal with a lot this year. And when you get into the NCAA tournament, if you haven't had a situation like that in some months, it can become a problem. So good win for the Cats, a little bit of adversity down the stretch. Some guys stepped up, some blood on the court. That's how much Baylor wanted it, guys. A couple of, bloody noses and cut lips out there. And, you come out of the win with the Waco, you can't ask for more. Bear down.
I want to go back, and I'm going to play this cut from here, Jada, but I want to go back to something Jaden Bradley said that we had on the pregame show. This was Jaden kind of just how this Wildcat team needed to dig deep.
We just had some meetings as a team. We were just trying to do everything we can to win right now. We short some guys, short some key part of the rotation. So just anything to win, rebounding, attack the paint, get up more threes.
He said, get up more threes at the end of that comment right there. And the Wildcats in this game got up 21 threes and made 9 of them. And again, it goes back to what I've said all season long. I don't care how many you take, but you got to make your percentage. And they continue, at least recently, to make above their percentage. They finished shooting 43% tonight from three-point land. Jaden had 5 of those. He continues to understand the assignment when he knows or when he understands these games where he's got to take over and be the man. And you could clearly kind of see that. He kind of let the first few minutes play out. The Wildcats got down in this game. And then he understood, hey, this has got to be one of those nights for me. And he started firing, came out firing in that game. And you love to see that from your senior. Like Kelvin said, maybe not the best defensive game. They kept driving to the hole on Krivas. We'll break down what was happening there in terms of that defense. But again, it was one of those up and down games from him. They drove on him all night, but at the same time, he got some really big blocks in this game. They only gave him credit for 1. I don't know how that was. Like he had to have had more than 1 block shot.
At least 3.
Yeah, I thought he had at least 3 in this game. They'll need to go back and
that's at Baylor, though. That's at Baylor.
Readjust.
It is at somebody else's house. That's not a block.
Readjust those stats right there. But just contributions all across the board. I mean, every time I was looking up, it was somebody different. Whether it's, and I'm going to have, and we may have trouble with the Window Depot tonight because there were so many different aspects. I mean, early it was Toby Awaka, late it was Ivan Karchenkov and Jaden and Braden Breweries, grabbing rebounds. And Anthony maybe wasn't the Anthony we'd seen the last couple of games, playing on a little bit of a not so great ankle, but he still made some huge contributions at both ends of the floor in this ball game, both aggressively and shooting threes. So just a lot of different folks, I think, which is kind of been the thread. And we saw early on different a number of guys contributing for this team to get to where they needed to get to the finish line. And like I said, they played like a fighter tonight who took a lot of punches, but in the end was the smarter person in the ring and was able to outpoint the opponent to get the decision in the end.